For years, Uttar Pradesh has been the political epicenter of Indian politics. And joining me right now is the chief of RLD, one of the most important allies of the BJP in Western Uttar Pradesh. In Uttar Pradesh, actually, thank you, Mr. Jayant Chaudhary, for speaking to NDTV. Sir, how would you see the first two phases that went by? The polling turnout, especially in places like Mathura and Muradabad and Muzaffarnagar, has been a cause of worry because it's been at least 4%. How do you see this, sir?
Well, firstly, you mentioned that UP has been the epicenter of national politics, and it's a matter of pride for all voters of UP that Prime Minister is a candidate from our state. And even in the past, we have chosen and voted for Prime Ministers and selected Prime Ministers. So at the national footprint level, UP is very important. It is a matter of concern that voting percentages have dropped. There are several issues at play. Election Commission is also must think about how to involve first-time voters, younger voters, how to ensure their turnouts, especially in urban areas. That's a medium to longer-term challenge, and that's been a declining trend overall in Indian politics. This particular election, I think there is another reason why percentages could have dropped, particularly in the first two phases, because I've seen very closely in Western UP is where elections have just happened. It didn't appear to be a close match at all, especially with RLD's tie-up. It was not something that happened a year ago. It happened just before elections. So that's why the mood and mind of voters has shifted perceptibly. And, just like in a wrestling match, if the last match is keenly awaited and it's a contest, people turn out to watch it, people wanting to see a participation. In this election, people are thinking it's done. And therefore, the committed voters have come out. But I think most of the floating vote perhaps could have been affected by the rhetoric and the whole the thought that elections are now one-sided.
Right.
So I think for NDA in particular, it is a challenge that we must bring our voters out.
Right, right. Mr. Chaudhary, would you also be traveling to Haryana because that is being seen as a challenging state? And how much of impact do you think that farmers' protests could have on the results? And also this, speculated anger amongst Jats, because we've seen a lot of Jat leaders move out of the BJP in the last few months.
Jats are not, they don't stand separate from other constituents and voters. So there are also farmers, there are also other communities that are engaged in farming. Jats are at the forefront of social movements and they are very vocal, and that's why I think they get mentioned more in political commentary. I think a lot of it is overstated, the resentment or anger. Some of it may be real, some of it may be rooted in real challenges and issues, and those need to be addressed. That has been RLD's stand. On farmer protests in particular, we were very, very active on ground. I wasn't just tweeting. I was going to all the morchas. I was doing langar seva. I didn't care if I was on the munch giving a speech. I sat amongst the farmers. And there is a goodwill for our politics, our legacy of taking up strong causes of farmers. I think that has stood us in good stead. And we will stand in solidarity with farmers. We'll try and take their issues on board with government. And I do feel that government has also addressed and seized of this matter. For instance, the last protest it's continuing protest, the way the government reached out to the protesters, tried to communicate with them, sent senior ministers, involved even the Chief Minister of Punjab, the state where maximum turnout has been in all the protests, to try and keep communication active and ongoing. And that problem-solving approach is the key. Dialogue is the key. So I think that gives us a lot of confidence that this government is focused on farmers' welfare. It has also engaged in good programs, effective programs, which have left a deep imprint on ground.
Right.
Especially the direct money transfer straight to beneficiary accounts. That has had a wide impact across communities, across sections, throughout the country. So I think even in Haryana, apart from the rhetoric, apart from what you might see on social media, on ground, things are not as against BJP as you might think.
Okay.
And as far as my campaign, we'll see. I'm an ally of BJP and we're a part of NDA. I've been to Rajasthan. Even though our seats have finished, I'm going out campaigning, and I do appeal for all our workers and party functionaries to keep at it till the last phase of election.
Right. Mr. Chaudhary, you were in Hathras yesterday. The elections moves to Awadh and, of course, Purvanchal right now. So, how challenging is it for the BJP in UP, and especially with someone like Akhilesh Yadav and also now Rahul Gandhi throwing his hat into the ring from Raebareli and Akhilesh Yadav fighting from Kannauj? Do you think that's going to mobilize the India Alliance? Does it have the capacity to do that?
They don't really have the capacity anymore. They've not taken up the issues consistently over the last 5 or 10 years even. And voters are looking for consistency. They're looking for stability. They're looking for, someone to seriously look at their concerns and issues. And it is a matter of faith. Who do they believe? They can believe in Narendra Modi, a prime minister, who has delivered on several promises, who has a track record. They might not have the same faith on Rahul Gandhi because his leadership is still not established in the minds of voters. He's a good man. He's trying hard. He's thrown his hat in the ring, as you say, from Uttar Pradesh, from a constituency. But I don't think that is of much import across UP at all. Maybe restricted to, Amethi, a little bit of impact, and, Raebareli, Amethi, 2 seats. And it was expected that someone from the family will contest. They always have been representing that constituency and been in the fray. Akhilesh, of course, Sabha has a wider footprint across UP. But his style of leadership already has been rejected by voters. I don't think they want to go back to the same kind of governance. And even Yogi ji and the BJP government, which is running the state, has a lot of goodwill, which is very strong. There's a strong current. I don't see any anti-incumbency at all.
Yeah, that's right. Sir, also there's a lot of discussion around Muslim quotas, and BJP is saying that when Congress comes to power, it will try to bring in Muslim quotas, and Prime Minister has been repeatedly saying this in all his campaigns, saying that there have been attempts in the past also. Do you think something like that is even possible? And you also know the opposition really well. So do you think the opposition has done this in the past, and do you think there is a possibility that they may want to do this? And how potent is this issue on ground?
Well, some states have attempted it. And Congress has been part of those governments and part of those efforts. And apart from the manifesto, you also have to go by the statements of the leaders. Yes. I think Rahul Gandhi specifically brought it up in a meeting. May not be policy of the party, but he is the principal leader even now. Even without position, everyone knows who's calling the shots in Congress. There was only one leader for whom 2 entire programs of yatras were designed pan-India. No one other leader, even the president of Congress party, has that kind of support. And the kind of machinery backing him, unfortunately, for Congress. So, Rahul is the principal face, and he's brought these issues up to the fore, which is why they are being discussed today. I think it is patently unconstitutional. Secular fabric of our country cannot be breached at any cost. Constitutional rights of our disadvantaged communities cannot be taken, with a pinch of salt. They have to be taken seriously by all governments at all levels. Citizens must be aware of these rights and must strive to protect them. And they must have faith that our NDA government is committed to guaranteeing constitutional rights to every citizen.
Right. Mr. my last question to you. So when you shifted, sides to the BJP, it was not seen completely as unexpected, because we've seen the BJP leaders not really attack you. Even when you joined the opposition, the Home Minister said that you're with the wrong side. He didn't really attack you, considering your legacy and your work. Tell us, are you confident that you made the right choice, and what triggered this change of heart?
Behind every political decision, there is an environment. There are many causes that lead up to that moment where you finally take a decision, take the plunge. I am also not alone in my decision. I'm not taking a decision just for myself. I have to look at the larger interests of the party. So I'm in constant dialogue with the grassroots, with what is happening. And I'm, in a sense, a student of politics in that measure, that I have to see pan-India what is going on. So all of that was, that interplay led me to thinking to try and change our current alignment. Right. And then some of the atmosphere, some of the way our partners unfortunately were dealing with us, specifically RLD, we felt that there is very little space for us to grow. Okay. Already the way NDA, we are now part of the family, the way BJP, because it's the principal party, the way they are engaging with us, trying to involve us in the entire campaign, in planning, in strategy, in the rollout, I do feel that yes, our workers are gonna find that they are getting a better place on the stage, they're getting the respect that they deserve. And I see absolutely no problem in us being able to convert our support base in favor of NDA. It's already happening.
Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary, for speaking to NDTV.